As we're dealing with a great variation of horses in a farrier's business, we come across horses with lots of minor defects. They're just like people. They're not born perfect. They do have minor conformational defects, and minor orthotics are something that most farriers will use in their business on a daily basis. Okay, you get the question about why is the benefit of shoes. Well, the first thing, I can protect my trim, because as horses are worked, if they're working horses, they're sport horses, they're not working in straight lines. They're doing shoulder in, canter pirouettes. They're not going over even surfaces. When they're galloping or cantering around corners, their feet aren't landing flat on the ground. We've seen that in many of the high-speed films, that the feet will be definitely landing on the inside leg, hard on the outside of the foot, and on the outside leg, hard on the inside of the foot, and the feet aren't going to wear evenly. So one of the benefits of shoeing is I can protect my balance trim. I can keep it balanced for longer. It's not a case of whether the horse is footsore, it's what stresses are placed on the joint by the feet becoming worn uneven. On a barefoot, there's no possible way of putting posterior support on the foot to help the limb. So if we want to support the limb, we have to put on shoes. That's the only way of giving posterior support and leg support. The same thing with medial or lateral support. We can't do that with a trim. If a horse has got a slight toe in or a slight toe out, it would benefit from having a 1/16th or an 1/8 of an inch of medial or lateral support. We're not talking about great big corrective devices. We're talking about modest things that most skilled farriers will do automatically. What is lacking in the horse's conformation and in its foot, then we can do by shoe placement. And it's something that we do automatically, and we probably should communicate to the owner that we are doing it. You know, we're moving that shoe, we're making it symmetrical to the limb, and we don't document it. So it's important that the owner understands that their horse has a minor defect, that once it has the minor defect, we can do something about it. It's not going to cost them extra money. It's something that we can do automatically by shoe placement. So we have lots of choices with shoes. We can give posterior support, we can make medial or lateral support, and we can work with breakover. Okay, so we have many breakover styles or devices. We can have square toe shoes, we can have blunt toe shoes, and I think one of the industry's things right now is we're tied up with clips. And for me, when I look at clips, I think it's the wrong thing to talk about, whether you're using toe clips or side clips or quarter clips. What's more relevant is shoe position at the toe. Are you going to shift it to the perimeter of the toe, or are you going to set the shoe back a little, or are you going to set it back a lot? Well, that would depend on the evaluation at the trim stage. Okay, how the bottom of the foot is going to be reacting against the ground. Okay, so once we've trimmed the foot, then we can start deciding what sort of breakover device that we were going to put onto a horse. It's not something that we can just blanket and do one style. It's something that it's an individual evaluation every time we shoe.